Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's having a fantastic start to your morning or afternoon, wherever you may be. Welcome. And today we are going to go ahead and take a look at the brand new 2020 proof sets. I ordered a number of them. They just arrived yesterday. I elected to go with the Slow and Go FedEx Smart Post, which is a traditionally 5 to 7 day delivery time. But in any event, we are going to go ahead and take a look and see exactly what we have here in the few sets that I did order. Okay, and then we're also going to talk about a few other things as well. Is this worth it? Is it worth it to get because of a special coin that they included, much like they did for the 2019 proof sets? They added in a 2019 West Point proof Lincoln cent in there in the mix. For 2020, they did something else a little bit different, although keeping up with the theme of the West Point coin menagerie, I guess. And they added in a Jefferson nickel. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the new packaging standards of that coin, because there's been a lot of criticism, I'm just going to be honest, about the way it was packaged last year, to where these coins came out with spots and other things on there that were not quite a delight to collectors, in spite of the fact that they are bonus coins. They are added in on the house. The U.S. Mint is charging a little bit more for their proof set for this year. I believe it's like $4 to $6 compared to last year. We're going to assess value. All right, how much better is the set with the price increase? And quality. Let's go ahead and check out the quality of this set. All right, so this is the sets are all shipped from, I guess, this location in Memphis. I took off the rest of the label, but we're gonna go ahead and crack this bad boy open. I've been excited to take a look at this for quite a little while. This set has been out for a little bit now. I'm probably one of the last YouTubers to actually do a live demonstrator video, but in any event, we are going to take a look at what we have here. Plus, we're also going to discuss the new channel and how you could win one of these proof sets. So we're going to go ahead and just make sure that if there's an invoice in here, that is going to be sealed and protected. So a little spacer in there. Okay, and we have 1, 2, 3 sets of the proof sets. In addition, we have 3 envelopes of what is the 2020 West Point nickels. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. I guess first and foremost, let's go ahead and actually deep dive into the actual sets. They're the same as every year, but in this particular case, we're talking about a new decade here. Oh, there's a reverse of the box. We have the 5 final America the Beautiful Park quarters. Okay, in addition to the penny, nickel, dime, half dollar, and then the Native American $1 coin is included in the mix. So we're gonna go ahead and open this and check out a little bit of the quality here. We got a nice certificate. Let's see what it says. David Ryder making it happen. Yeah, he made it happen last year, and he's going to go ahead and do it as well this year with some pretty neat, innovative releases, not only through the U.S. Mint website, but also in circulation. They're also going to do a special quarter presentation with a privy mark for West Point that will be released here shortly. So here's the 5 featured America the Beautiful Park quarters. We have the American Samoa National Park with the pair of bats on there. We have the Weir Farm, Connecticut. These coins are absolutely beautiful in person. Salt River Bay, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. We have here the Marsh Billings Rockefeller in Vermont. And then finally, we have the Tallgrass Prairie. So pretty nice presentation as always. if I had to guess, maybe the Salt River Bay is the least stimulating design for 2020, and these coins look fantastic. Kind of wishing there would be a nice little error, like a strike through or something to that effect in here. But nonetheless, these are all San Francisco minted coins, as you would expect for these proof coins. And yeah, there you go. Add them to your album, crack them out. And then finally, we have the other 5 denominations featured in this set. We have the 2020S Lincoln Proof Set, 2020S Jefferson Nickel, 2020S Roosevelt Dime. Let's see, we have the Candy Half Dollar. And then finally, we have the 2020S Native American Dollar, which features the anti-discrimination reverse Elizabeth Peratrovich. I hope I got that right. Pretty neat design. I've never been one to actively go out and actually collect these. Before you dollar collectors out there, that's what we have. And then, of course, the other coins look fantastic. We don't see anything weird with any of the frosting. These coins, as you would expect, should grade out if you're into grading at all through either NGC or PCGS. These should be a perfect 70, just based on what I'm seeing. I don't see any frost breaks. I don't see any funky, any sort of defects that are involved in the set, but you know, you are achieving a high quality set nonetheless. So that's fantastic. All right, so that's what that looks like. And let's go ahead and take a look at the first West Point 2020 Jefferson Nickel. I'm excited about this. They keep a flap open so you don't have to tear into it. So the thing about these are a special edition. Again, they are what they call a bonus edition to the proof set. However, they did jack up the price of these sets by about $4 to $6. And yeah, I think we could see the kind of like the underlying reasoning behind that is that they're adding in a premium coin, and in spite of the fact that it's, you know, coined as a free edition to the set, the $4 to $6 increase, you know, it just seems very convenient for the release of this coin. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. All right, so they elected to go this time around with a soft poly kind of bag. I forgot what they call this, but it's not as rigid as the previous when the penny was released, and this is actually supposed to be even more safer for the coin, so you don't get spotting and all that stuff on there. So this one right here, that's what that looks like through the plastic. I don't think I'm going to take this out quite yet. Pretty nice. I mean, it's a proof coin. It's a special strike, as you would expect for something like this. And mintage is going to be held to however many of the actual proof sets that they make. All right, so let's say they make 600,000 proof sets. The total mintage of this coin will be 600,000. All right, anything sub $1 million, I would say, is in pretty good shape. Even though the U.S. Mint has released these specialized West Point coins here in the last 12 months, we're still seeing mintage figures well under $1 million. All right, and I feel like it's going to stay that way up until they decided, all right, we are done with the actual production of these mid sets, because they'll sell 2019s, I believe, for 24 months after the end of the date. So I mean, it could be a possibility that we might see for the 2019s with a 2019 West Point penny to exceed 1 million pieces. But when we're taking into account, you know, consumer buying habits and collecting habits, it's whatever's new right now that commands all the attention of collectors and buyers. So these are fantastic pieces. Grade-wise, they should grade out really high. So that's one example there. pretty nice presentation. I will admit they did a good job with the printing of the envelopes and things like that. So what I wanted to do is take a look and see how much these coins are selling on the secondary market. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start out with the 2020 West Point nickel. Okay, the full featured coin of the set. Now, these are the most recent sold examples, as you can see by the date. We have a couple 313s here. The coin by itself, if you wanted to just go ahead and buy a 2020 West Point Jefferson nickel proof coin, they're going to be right around $14 to $16. This one example sold for $12, but do not forget the shipping, $3.29. The second example sold earlier this morning for $14. And here's another example here in its original government packaging that sold for $14. Now keep in mind, people have sent these out and they have come back graded. So PCGS has done quite the load of the actual grading submissions. And I'm happy to say that Proof 70 examples are coming in between $80 to $100. Now, that seems quite inexpensive. You could go out and buy a PCGS or NGC graded 2020 West Point Jefferson nickel for between $80 and $100. This particular example that sold probably late last night is one that was signed by Jamie Frankie, all right, who is the obverse designer of this coin, okay, that brought it to life back in 2007 or 2006, somewhere around there. So the design is 13 years old, but this individual signed a slab, and therefore you got a little bit of a premium on there. Proof 70, it's a really easy grade to achieve right out of the package. So we have a few more here of those signed labels. These are Proof 69. As you can see, they only sold for $23.50, so there's quite a sharp drop off. If you were going to send these out, keep in mind that they will either come back 69 or 70. They're all going to be deep cameo, and you are probably going to lose out if it hits 69. I'm not going to lie to you. So would it be worth it, number one, to send these out for grading? Probably not, considering that the populations of these coins in Proof 69 and 70 are way too high right now to even justify trying to make a few bucks off of them. But where I would probably get in at is buying one that is already slabbed as a Proof 70, if and only if you wanted one. Keep in mind, the 2019 West Point Lincoln Cent proof coin sold for quite a bit more money right out of the chute as a Proof 70. Those coins sold for about $200 to $300. So you see the difference already. There's quite a few of these out there in the marketplace, and I would expect these to probably even drop a little bit further. It wouldn't be out of the question to pick up a Proof 70 2020 West Point Jefferson for around $50 to $60. All right, by the time it's all said and done. Okay, that's just the way the market goes. So here's another coin that's in the original government packaging that sold for $14.59. And as you can see, the prices all seem to trend the same way. And it would appear that there are quite a few of these signed Jamie Frankie slabs out there, and that would probably be the one that you would want to buy. Okay, there's an NGC graded Proof 70 Ultra Cameo that sold for $100. It doesn't even have the signed label, but it is a first day of issue, which I believe today, if you were to send these out, you wouldn't be able to get the first day of issue moniker because they've been out for a little while now. But you could see just the way that these are trending. These are all from within the last 24 hours. They are regular sellers, so you would have no problem selling the coins as is for between $14 and $16 if you needed a little bit of money today. But why would you, right? They're just good to hold on to. They're going to be a little bit lower mintage limit than what meets the eye. And, in probably 10, 15 years, we're going to be talking about these coins as being somewhat of a proof key. And it really depends on how much the U.S. Mint is going to be milking said program for other coins as well. It's going to be an interesting development as we go. So that's for the proof coin in itself. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the other featured coins. So let's go ahead and take a look at the 2020S, excuse me, Kennedy half dollar, and let's see where prices are trending there. As expected, it shouldn't be too far off. And we are going to sort by the most recent of sales. All right, so here's the most recent. One example sold this morning for, I don't know, someone accepted a best offer, $3.99, 75 cents shipped. It was a crack out, and it was subsequently placed in this 2x2 holder. So if you're buying that, more than likely it's going to be for an album. Proof 69 Deep Cameo, ultra cheap, $14.50 shipped. Part of a birth set program there. So the U.S. Mint did release a birth year set, okay, with a quarter, dime, nickel, and cent, and a half dollar. All right. $28.95 is available on the secondary market. Here's another example that's raw out of the package for what I would consider to be probably about $5 to $6. Someone accepted a best offer, and the list just keeps on going. There's a 69. There's another 69. They're incredibly cheap. I'm trying to see if we come across a 70, and there's the first one. $40 plus $2.84 for shipping. All right, so the coin in itself, and the frosting looks a little weird underneath his throat area there. His chin, the frosting gives it the appearance that Kennedy has some sort of goiter. And that's an earlier release coin. And then you could just check it out. $30-$40 is what you would expect for a Proof 70 Deep Cameo 20S Kennedy. So the coins in themselves, okay, right off the bat, I'm going to say are lovely. The coins look great. They are a collector presentation type piece. Would I say, is it worth it, number one, to grade these? I'm going to say no. It's just not worth it. This is a set that you would traditionally buy just to either keep in its original government packaging or crack them out, put them into a current year album, okay, which is kind of like a more popular pick that a lot of collectors like to do. So that would be, for the most part, the regular San Francisco minted proof sets. I would say that these are an okay buy at the however much I spent on them. They're getting more and more expensive just because of the better quality packaging and the extra additions that they add to it, albeit they term them as free bonus gifts. In reality, you are kind of paying for it at the end. Now, the different story is going to be the 2020 West Point Jefferson Nickels. Now, they are going to be releasing at the same time for this year. They are going to be releasing a reverse proof, which is absolutely stunning, which I believe is going to be one of the more popular coins coming from 2020 for the West Point minted Jefferson Nickels. These are going to be a long-term hold. All right, if you were able to hold on to these, okay, and then years after these things have stopped being minted, I would say 10 years on down the line, expect these coins to reach about $25 to $30 a piece, as there just won't be a whole lot of them out there. Kind of similar to the 96 West Point Roosevelt dime. After a while, they just kind of disappeared. You don't see too many of them out there, but that particular coin was kind of an anomaly. It was ahead of its time, and now here we are. 24 years later, there's a full-featured West Point program in place for a lot of the not only special strike coins, but also for the circulating coinage as well. So these I would definitely keep. As far as grading, I would probably hold off on grading any of the 2020 West Point proof nickels. Now, the one that's going to be worth grading will be the mid-set type, which will be available later on in the summer. A lot of people seem to send those out because those can come back with full steps. With the proof coins, they're all going to be full steps anyways, because they're just all, the strikes and the dies are all just like superior. So you would expect full steps on every single example. It would be even more rare to find these coins without full steps. All right, so the proof and the reverse proof, I would probably be a little cautious on, even on the reverse proof, sending those out to grading companies. Only because there's just going to be a high population of them that's going to grade 69 and 70. So as far as long-term value, you're really stuck there. The safe money would be just to buy one that's already slabbed, if and only if you want them. I would say there are other coins that I would invest money in. Older coins from the early 1800s, late 1700s, US style coins. A lot of the federal age of coinage is still pretty strong even to this day, especially with all of the weirdness going around in the overall economy today. You guys know what I mean. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm wearing gloves for a reason, to protect the coins and myself. But in any event, I would say that I give the overall presentation a B+. Again, fantastic. The plastic's really nice on these. The nickels themselves are going to hold value. These are going to be bargain bin cheapo coins, 5-10 years on down the line, because there's just, the collector base hasn't quite caught up to proof sets. Okay, they're just all very high quality coins. There's not a whole lot of I guess thrill in cracking these out and sending them out to graders, because they're all going to come back as expected, very high grades. So that's where I wanted to end it off on. I got 2 other sets, and guess what? I'm going to be giving those away here probably in about 2 weeks. I've just kind of been slow rolling and starting this new channel, which will be called Blue Ridge Act 2, where we're going to talk about all other aspects of collecting, not just coins, but there's also going to be sports cards, magic cards, vintage toys, you name it, comic books. We're going to talk about everything on there. We're also going to talk about a lot of market reports. We're going to talk about trends and things of that nature. So it should be a lot of fun. And at that point, when I launch that particular channel, we're going to give away these 2 on this channel as a way of kicking off the brand new Blue Ridge Act 2 channel, which will be going live here. It should be in about 2 to 3 weeks. It's going a little bit later than I anticipated. We're trying to get all the graphics and the design work together and trying audio equipment. But in any event, I want to thank you guys for joining in. If you enjoyed today's video, go ahead and hit the like button. Feel free to share and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. As always, ladies and gentlemen, coinaholics, boys and girls, we are discovering together. You guys stay safe out there. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy collecting, and I'll see you next time.